Hi, everybody. My name's Nick, and I'm an alcoholic. A little nervous. Yeah, my fingertips are kind of cold. My heart's beating a little fast. But I'm grateful to be at the Rarely group. Thank you, Kirk, for asking me. Appreciate it. Safe Harbor holds a special place in my heart. There's a lot of cool energy in this room. There's been a lot of people in here with a lot of sobriety. I used to come to Rarely, I don't know, I was sober from 2010 to 2016 in Prescott, and Rarely was one of the first meetings that I came to, and this meeting was consumed with a lot of sobriety, a lot of old-timers that sat on the sides. There was an elderly lady who made a cake every week. She would make like this big cake for birthdays. And it was a really cool deal. So it's really cool to see that this meeting's still going on. So, yeah, I'm an alcoholic. And I am in my 4.5 month of sobriety this time. And I feel pretty good and weird most of the time. I don't know, like, I'll just, like, talk about my day. Like, that's kind of how I'm taking it right now, is just day by day. So I wake up in the morning at about 5:30, and that's a whole new, different experience for me, like, in and of itself. I am an alcoholic that likes to sleep as much as possible, so waking up at 5:30 is like a new experience for me, and that's part of growing up, and it's difficult. But I wake up in the morning, and my alcoholic mind is very loud. For whatever reason, I'm not really sure. But I wake up in the morning and my brain tells me to go immediately back to sleep because the world is scary. I'm a piece of shit. I don't have anything to offer the world. And so you might as well just stay in bed, Nick. There's nothing to live for. And now, today, I can look at that and say, fuck off. That's a lie, right? And that's something I've come to understand in these first 4.5 months of sobriety, is that I kind of got two different voices in my head. And it may sound a little weird and schizophrenic, but it's true for me. I've got a good voice that is my intuitive highest self. It's my God consciousness. It's the best Nick that there is. And I have this other voice that is my alcoholism. And it's consumed by self-centeredness, resentment, fear, insecurity, self-pity, all these crazy, crazy lies. And I've got these two voices going on in my head all the time. Only now, in these first 4 months, have I been willing to look at this as like a real thing, right? So I wake up and tell the alcoholic voice to, buzz off, dude. Like, and so I wake up, and I've been practicing surrender in the morning, because when I wake up, my alcoholic voice in my head is very loud, and it will consume me, and it will control my day, and it will make me miserable unless I surrender to my higher power in the morning. That's another thing I'd like to touch on, is that, like, I'm an alcoholic. Alcohol did something for me that was so amazingly incredible. It gave me so much power that I used it until it stopped giving me power, and until it stopped working. So I remember when I took my first drink, think I was about 12 or 13. I was at a family party. And for some reason, my mom gave me and my cousin Trevor the job of tending the bar. For some reason. I was 13. I think he was 14 or 15. And my cousin Trevor showed me how to, like, mix drinks and stuff. So, you know, we're making vodka cranberries and decapping beers for the dudes and whatnot and passing out drinks, pouring wine. And the most attractive booze on that table to Trevor and I was the pucker. I don't know if anybody remembers pucker. It's, it's just, I mean, it's nasty. It looks like antifreeze. So we proceeded to pour ourselves a couple drinks. And the effect that alcohol had on me at that point was a complete, like, it was like a complete sense of ease and comfort, of I feel okay in my own skin. I am Nick. I felt like I was Nick. I can talk to my aunts and uncles and, you know, talk about whatever and be truthful with people, and it was incredible. Now, I didn't pursue to get loaded and blackout drunk from that moment on until 4.5 months ago. However, that was that was the best solution I could find to my problem. What my problem was before that was just not feeling comfortable in my own skin. I don't feel like I can interact with the world. This is a solution. So I sought that solution in many different ways. So that makes me an alcoholic, right? There's also, like, a few other things that make me an alcoholic. One is, like, this abnormal, like, bodily reaction to alcohol. That when I ingest alcohol, my body doesn't react to it like other people do. Like, I have an allergy, I have an abnormal reaction. When I drink alcohol, I cannot stop drinking alcohol, and I don't know what the consequences or where it's going to take me. I'm just going to go until whenever, you know. And also, when I ingest alcohol, I have this craving, right, that happens. So because alcohol is such an incredible solution for me, I can't stop. And I just want more and more and more and more. So, therefore, I am powerless over alcohol. And so, when I wake up in the morning, back to the morning thing, I wake up a pretty powerless alcoholic. And I have to get some power from something. Or else I'm just, I don't know, like I'm a fish out of water. I'm just weird, you know. But if I tap into this power and I surrender and I ask for help from God, I'm able to follow this intuitive, God-conscious voice versus following the selfish alcoholic voice. And it's a pretty cool deal. Like, it works. I have a different life today. Even 4.5 months sober, and all I've done is just tap into this power, and have some fun in recovery, regardless of what my alcoholism says. You know, I live in a sober living environment with a bunch of crazy dudes, and it's nuts. But it's so much fun, and we talk about alcoholism, and we go on trips to conventions in Phoenix, and we go to different meetings, and we go on hikes, and we get all screwed up in our heads, and, like, we get together and we talk about it, and it's like, I've been through 2 treatment centers and maybe 2 different sober livings, and this has been the coolest experience I've ever had as a sober man in Alcoholics Anonymous. So I'm not sure where my time is. Where's the leader guy? 1 minute? Okay. So Cool. So let's see. I'm also in the middle of working my 4-step inventory, which is bringing up a lot of stuff. This is not my first time going through an inventory. I've had an experience working in inventory, doing a 5th step, and like drinking immediately after because I didn't like what I saw on Insanity Return, and I drank. It's a trip, and I'm not all the way through it, so I'm not going to go too deep into it yet. But it's some things are coming to light, and it's a cool deal. I'm grateful for Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm grateful for the older sobers that have stayed sober and have like trudged through this shit so that they can teach me how to do it. Because that's kind of how this thing works, is that we give it away so that Alcoholics Anonymous can continue to like help as many alcoholics as possible, you know. So thank you everybody for letting me share.
Thank you.